Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear up here in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally, and I mean literally, does not work. So let's get open for business here and let's wake up those football guys. Wake up here this morning, guys. You know what? We need to do a little change here. Whoa, boy, do we need to do a change. We need to turn football guys around. Guys, well, you're getting a little dusty up here. Yeah, I need to dust y'all off. Yeah, let's get the cobwebs off of here. Sorry, Tom, Roger, Drew, Tony, Randy. Oh, there we go. All right, there we go. I'll dust them up later. I'll dust them up later. How you guys doing today? Um, this is 3 weeks in a row that we haven't had to have Walk of Shame Monday. That we've literally been able to come through here and talk about victories and have and not have to have a hangover. Well, except for Joe Boo. Joe Boo is just happy that his head is still attached. Philly 500 wanted to bet Joe Boo's head that if the Eagles had swept the Cowboys, that Joe Boo's head's coming off. And, well, Joe Boo's head, as you can still see, is still attached to his body. So, you know what happened yesterday. The Eagles got their teeth kicked in. And I have to say, Philly is a real fan. He's not one of those cockroaches that I always talk about. Those cockroaches that literally only show up when they're winning, like Philadelphia. Every time, first half of the game, when you guys were leading, you were up in here, and you had that bet. And don't make me pull out the screenshot of you making that bet that you welched on. Okay, don't make me do that, because see, a man that's not up with his words is a cockroach. Don't be a cockroach, and don't be a fair weather fan. If you're gonna walk the walk, talk the talk. If you're going to talk about how great your team is when they're winning, then hey, man up when you lose and say, congratulations, you were the better team. We'll get you next time. I'm cool with that. I'm cool. I'm cool with anybody talk trash if they do that. But if you're one of those cockroaches, I got nothing for you. Now, for the Cowboys, Zeke Elliott's demise may be a little bit premature. Yesterday, he said he was feeling a lot healthier than he had been in a while, and it actually showed. I told you guys that Zeke Elliott was going to have a monster day because, well, it wasn't a monster day. Alvin Kamara had a monster day, but have a really good game. I mean, he had 105 yards on 19 carries, 5.5 yards a carry. Clearly, his best game of the season. He ate. And he helped control the clock. He helped get the ball down there in the goal line. He took care of the things that you need Zeke Elliott to do. Now, a lot of you guys said, man, just trade Zeke to the Jets and everything else if the Jets were willing to take on that contract. I don't think that you're going to. But this goes to show you that NFL football, more than anything else, is about matchups and finding weaknesses. The Cowboys knew that the Eagles' defense is kind of hurting, softer up in the middle. And they were able to use Zeke Elliott, who finally really got into gear, didn't have any fumbles, was able to really just keep plowing through and just keep that motor moving and get positive yards after contact. On the flip side, Tony Pollard had 9 carries for 12 yards, 1.3-yard average. And I'm not saying that Tony Pollard's not a good back. I'm not saying that Zeke Elliott's not a good back. They're both fantastic running backs. And the reality is what you need to understand is NFL football is about matchups. Some games are going to be better suited to have Tony Pollard working, pass catches on the outside. Other games are going to be grind them out. Other games are going to be, we've got a lead. We want to control the clock. We want to pound the rock in the middle. And that's why you want to have 2 different style running backs that are both capable of doing things. It's not rocket science. And too many times, as I'm watching that game yesterday, I remember people talking about, well, we should trade, Michael Gallup for Jamal Adams, New York, and a draft pick and things like that. Or, go ahead, get rid of Amari Cooper, get rid of that guy. Let's trade him. Or, it's like, stop. Stop, stop, stop. We always want to get rid of guys that are actually doing things on this team. The one thing you have to look at, and Andy Dalton, shout out to him, he had a great game. Still had some misses in there and things. Still needs to lead the receivers sometimes, but you could see his veteran presence of being able to look off receivers from time to time. I mean, look off safeties and deliver the ball in an area that was catchable. You working that you don't want to mess with. You understand that the wide receiver core is beast. I mean, that they're fantastic. You don't want to change any of that. You want to carry that through next year. Don't keep talking about getting rid of that. Zeke Elliott, when healthy, shows you he's still a great, capable back. So, everybody's going to have a bad year, bad time, going to be injured, and they're going to have down years. But Zeke Elliott turned it on. Now, more than anything, I want to point back, as I started this conversation with, that the Cowboys, now on a 3-game win streak, sometimes you can point to something that becomes motivating. Sometimes you have that coach that can do that Newt Rockney speech, okay? That guy that can get you motivated, that makes you literally run through a brick wall. I think the Dallas Cowboys, from the time that they got moved from Sunday Night Football, was the impetus for them to wake up. That was the Cowboys' wake-up call that we don't matter. Jerry Jones, you could see the sense of urgency. As much as he said, oh, well, that's just kind of an NFL thing. That hurt Jerry Jones to the core. That they were taking the Cowboys, it didn't matter how bad the Cowboys were, that they were taking away something that was precious to him, and that was being that Dallas Cowboys in that number 1 slot, and replacing it with the Browns and the Giants. And since that time, the Dallas Cowboys have woken up. They turned the season around. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there that are saying, they're stupid, man. You got no chance and everything else. This is just hurting draft position things. Well, I say we've done pretty good in the draft without being a top team year after year. We've done pretty good. I'll dare say that the draft that we had last year was better than probably a lot of the guys that were in the top 5 last year. It's a matter of finding those players that fit your system that that you can develop. Guys that are overlooked, and that's something the Cowboys have done. And getting the Cowboys in gear, getting them motivated, and stop taking things for granted that we're the Cowboys, all we got to do is show up, that you got to put in the work, will reap benefits come next year. It won't set in that loser mentality. It will instill that never give up. We were on the brink of our season being destroyed, but we clawed, we fought back, we got in there. And down the road, when they get into these kinds of situations in the games, they won't give up. They'll keep fighting, they'll keep clawing, they'll keep scratching. And if they do end up with a 7-9 season, you wanted to have a better season, but in a year where you got a new coach, all new coaching staff, you brought in a bunch of free agents, you didn't have OTAs, you didn't have a normal training camp, you didn't have preseason games, and you lost your quarterback to finish possibly 7-9 is a statement to say, hey, as we thought. We turned things around. We played better the second half than we did the first, and carry that through to next year. So for me, this gets me excited. This gets me excited and gets me looking forward to next Sunday. Unfortunately, any hopes that we have are relying on the Philadelphia Eagles. And, buddy, good bet at all. That ain't a good bet at all. But, hey, at least going into the last week of the season, you still got something to play for. 4 weeks ago, I didn't see that happen. So I'm excited about it. We're going to have some fun this week. Cop Pizzle, I'm coming for you, bro. I'm coming for you. But right now, us poor folks, we got to get to our day job. I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon.